All right, so this is number 63. And the title is Solving Triangles. Solving a triangle means find all the missing sides and all the missing angles. Solving a triangle means find all the missing sides and all the missing angles. That's all for the note card. Here, let me pass out the whole bunch for you. Keep yourself organized. Title of the paper is Solving Right Triangles. The title of the paper is Solving Right Triangles. And we are going to start with number 3. So here's the triangle for number 3. Title of the paper is Solving Right Triangles. And the directions say solve the triangle. So that means find all the missing sides and all the missing angles. Okay, passes or anything there. Okay. So we got to look for the missing sides and the missing angles. So any ideas on what we can do first? Yeah. Good. The 3 angles of a triangle add up to 180. So finding this angle is not too bad. You just add up the 50 and the 90, and then subtract from 180. 50 and 90 add up to 140. So that means the angle is 40. All right, so that wasn't too bad. We just used an old fact about the fact that the 3 angles of a triangle add up to 180. So that we use that to find that missing angle. All right? Yeah.
We can use Pythagorean.
Good. To find the missing side, we can use Pythagorean theorem. Does the Pythagorean theorem work with any triangle? Just right triangles, but this one's a right triangle because it's got a 90-degree angle. So Pythagorean theorem's fair game. 47 is the hypotenuse. I guess I'll call this side x. So 47 squared equals 36 squared plus x squared. Don't forget that when you do the Pythagorean theorem, the hypotenuse goes by itself, right? So 47 squared is 2,209. 36 squared, It's 1296. And then 2209 minus 1296 is 913. And then you take the square root of both sides. So you get square root of 913. We would try to simplify this, but I don't think there's any perfect squares that divide into it. I could check. 25 certainly doesn't divide into it. 16 doesn't. 8 doesn't because 2 doesn't. 9 does not. Yeah, so that's as simple as it gets. But don't forget you have to check for that. Like remember when we broke it up into 2 square roots? Okay, so that's all for that problem. We found the missing side. It was the square root of 913. And we found the missing angle. That was 40. So the direction said solve the triangle, which means find all the missing sides and angles, but we filled in everything here. Everybody doing okay? All right, next I'd like to look at number 4. And this one is not quite as involved. It just says find the value of the variable. So directions on number 4 do not say solve. They just say find the missing variable. So we're just looking for A. So how could we find A? Can you use Pythagorean theorem?
No,
Yeah, why not?
because we have the A and then we have like basic, since there's an empty space for the hypotenuse, but just an x.
Yeah, in order to use Pythagorean theorem, you need 2 of the sides, right? And we've only got 1 of the sides. I mean, Pythagorean theorem's fair game because it is a right triangle, but we don't have enough info to use that. Yeah.
You would have to do tangent 35.
You'd have to do one of the trig fractions. Good, sine, cosine, or tangent. Because you do have the angle and a side. And the trig ratios are fair game because it's a 90-degree angle. Okay, so 17, is that the hypotenuse or? It's opposite from 35, right? So 17 is opposite. And then the A is adjacent. So before we go any further, everybody good with 17 being opposite and A being adjacent? All right, so since we're doing opposite and adjacent, that's the tangent. And then you always take the tangent of the angle. So it's tangent of 35. And then the tangent fraction is opposite over adjacent. So that's 17 over A. Everybody still doing okay? All right, now what? Yeah.
Then we do the tangent of 35.
Yeah, look up the answer for tangent 35. And
So it's 0.702. Other numbers. And then it would be 7,000 into over 10,000.
good. So he looked this up on the calculator, but you can look it up on your trig table if you want. That's the value for tangent 35. And then this doesn't really look like a fraction, but it's the same as 7,002 over 10,000. And then you do the cross products from there. 7,002 times A equals 170,000. So 7,002 times A, that was that cross product. Then took 17 times 10,000, that was this cross product. And then last but not least, you divide by 7,002. So I'm putting a squiggly equals there because I'm going to round the answer. Actually, I rounded already. Sure I get the right number of zeros in there. 24.28. So I just want to point out that we rounded at this stage right here. Because Charlie was saying there's more decimal places. When he pressed in tangent 35, there were more numbers after the 2. So this right here was rounded, which is okay. So that's why I put the squiggly in equals here, because this is not exactly right. It's pretty close. I'm just previewing next week. Next week we're going to get the exact answer without rounding. But for now it's okay to round, so we did that here. Is everybody okay? Questions are a good thing, if you have them.